Welcome to a new video. My name is Myra Cagete. Today I'm going to talk about the common usage of should and must. Ang should at must ay mga halimbawa ng modal auxiliary verbs or simply modal verbs. Ano-ano nga ba yung mga modal verbs in English? Andyan yung can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, and ought to. They act as helpers to give more meaning to other verbs. Modal auxiliary verbs combine with other verbs to express ideas such as necessity, intention, possibility, or ability. So, depende yan sa kung anong klaseng modal verb ang gagamitin mo sa iyong sentence. Kapag ang isang pangungusap ay ginamitan mo ng should, for example, at ang isa namang pangungusap ay ginamitan mo ng must, magiging magkaiba or medyo magkaiba na ang ibig sabihin ng dalawang pangungusap na yan. Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about or I'm going to focus on should and must. Let's start with must. Must is usually used for talking about obligations or rules. So when we talk about obligations, rules, laws, when you give commands or orders, or when you talk about necessity, then we use must. So kapag ang pinag-uusapan natin ay yung obligasyon, batas, okay, na dapat nating sundin or dapat sundin ng ibang tao, we use must. For example, you must submit all the requirements before we schedule an interview with you. So, must ang ating modal verb at yung main verb sa sentence na yan ay yung submit. Must submit. Ibig sabihin, yan ay rule, okay? Dapat ay ipasa mo muna ang lahat ng requirements bago kami gumawa ng schedule ng interview mo. Ngayon, kung negative form naman ang gusto mong sabihin, all you have to do is to put not after must. So you say, must not, tapos yung main verb. For example, you must not park your car here. It's a tow-away zone. Okay? Must not, tapos park. Yung contracted form ng must not ay mustn't. Pero according to my friends who are native speakers of English, also to my colleagues who are native speakers of English, pati na rin sa mga grammar resources na nabasa ko, ang mustn't ay hindi karaniwang ginagamit sa American English. It's more used or it's more common in British English. So you can say must not or mustn't, walang problema. In my case, I don't usually say mustn't, I usually say must not. So you can say, you must not park your car here. It's a tow-away zone. Or, you mustn't park your car here. It's a tow-away zone. So there's prohibition, or ito ay ipinagbabawal, okay? Hindi mo dapat i-park ang iyong sasakyan or ang iyong kotse dito kasi ito ay isang tow-away zone. Now let's talk about should. Should is used when we give general advice, recommendations, or opinions. It is used for asking or for saying what is the best thing to do. And the person that we're talking to doesn't have any obligation to follow our advice or recommendations. So, ibig sabihin, yung taong kausap natin, hindi niya obligasyon na sundin kung ano yung sasabihin nating advice or kung ano yung advice na ibibigay natin when we use should. For example, you should get some sleep. Ang modal verb dyan ay should at ang main verb ay get. Should get. You should get some sleep. So, halimbawa, ang iyong kaibigan ay mukhang antok na, okay? Kulang na kulang sa tulog, mukhang pagod na pagod. Then, you can give that advice, you should get some sleep. Again, ang sentence na yan ay hindi talaga nagmamando sa taong kausap mo na dapat niyang sundin, okay? Nasa tao na kung gusto niyang sundin or hindi kasi yan ay isa lang payo or advice. Another example, you should read The Woman Who Had Two Navels by Nick Joaquin. It's a good read. So, sa sentence na yan, ang ginamit natin na modal verb ay should, tapos yung main verb ay read. You should read. Ito ay isa lamang payo or recommendation na nasa sayo na kung gusto mong sundin or hindi. Kung gagawa naman kayo ng negative sentence, all you have to do is to put not after should. Should not or shouldn't. Yung shouldn't ay yung pinaikse or yung shortened form ng should not. For example, you should not overthink or you shouldn't overthink. Actually, ang must ay pwede rin gamitin when we give advice. But you have to remember that we use must when we give strong advice. Okay? Kapag mayroong emphasis ang ating advice, mas may diin, mas seryoso ang ating advice or recommendations, then we use must. Kung ikukumpara mo yung sentence mo or yung advice mo na ginamitan mo ng must doon sa sentence mo or doon sa advice mo na ginamitan mo ng should, ang sentence na may must ay mas matindi, okay? Ibig sabihin talagang kailangan sa palagay mo ay kailangan ng gawin ng taong yon o kailangan sundin ng taong yon yung advice mo. I'll give you a situation. Halimbawa, ikaw ay may partner. Okay? Meron kang partner na chain smoker, mahilig manigarilyo, mayat maya ay naninigarilyo, kahit sa loob ng bahay ay naninigarilyo. Ngayon, yung mga anak ninyo, yung mga chikiting ninyo sa bahay, ay unti-unti nang nagkakaroon ng sakit sa baga, inuubo na, or lagi na lang may pneumonia, at sa pagkakataong yon, then you can say to your partner, you must stop smoking. So, ibig sabihin, yung advice na yon or recommendation na yon ay mas seryoso kumpara sa kung gagamitin mo yung should sa iyong sentence, okay? Sa ganyang sitwasyon, most probably ay susundin ka ng iyong partner. We can also use must when we strongly encourage someone to do something. So, kapag talagang gustong-gusto natin, talagang ipipilit natin sa taong kausap natin na sundin yung ating payo or advice, then we can use must. For example, this dessert is absolutely delicious. You must try it. So, merong excitement, okay? Merong diin. Kapag sinabi mong, you must try it, ibig sabihin, gustong-gusto mo talagang tikman niya, okay? Yung dessert na yon. So, you have to take note of the keyword strong, okay? Kapag ginamit mo yung must sa yung advice, then it means you're giving strong advice or a strong recommendation. Mas may diin, mas may emphasis ang iyong message.
Let's remember this important rule about giving advice. As I mentioned earlier, we use should for general advice. We can use must for strong advice. But we have to take note that with negative sentence structures, we always use should not or shouldn't for both general and strong advice.
Let's talk about another common way of using should. Should can also be used when we talk about expectations. It is used when we want to say that we expect something is true or that we expect something will happen. Pwede rin natin gamitin yung should para sabihin na ina-expect na natin or inaasahan natin na ang isang bagay ay totoo or na ang isang bagay ay mangyayari. I'll give you a situation. Halimbawa, magkakaklase tayo. Okay? Nasa classroom na tayong lahat kasi tapos na yung ating recess. At inaasahan natin na yung ating teacher ay pabalik na rin sa ating classroom kasi nga tapos na yung recess natin. So we can say, our teacher should be back any minute now. Should, tas yung main verb ay be. Our teacher should be back any minute now. Ibig sabihin, inaasahan nga natin na yung ating teacher ay pabalik na rin sa ating classroom. Hindi ibig sabihin na ito ay siguradong mangyayari, okay? But it just means that this is what we expect. I'll give you another situation. Halimbawa tayo ay magkakatropa. Okay? Nagkita-kita tayo sa isang mall. Ngayon, ang isa sa ating mga katropa, ang pangalan niya ay Tom. Si Tom ay nakatira lang, let's say, 5 minutes away from the mall kung saan tayo nagkita-kita. Ibig sabihin, malapit lang yung bahay ni Tom. Let's say, naghiwa-hiwalay tayo 1 hour ago pa. So, inaasahan ko na si Tom ay nasa bahay na niya ngayon kasi nga 1 hour ago pa tayo naghiwa-hiwalay. At sabi nga ni Tom, uuwi na siya ng bahay. So, ini-expect ko, inaasahan ko na sa mga oras na ito, si Tom ay nasa bahay na. So, I can say, Tom should be home by now. Should be home by now. Tom should be home by now. Ngayon, yung must naman ay pwede natin gamitin when we make assumptions or conclusions. So, kapag nag-a-assume tayo o inisip natin na, o sa palagay natin na ang isang bagay ay totoo, we can use must in our sentence. I'll give you a situation. Halimbawa, tayo ay magtotropa. Okay, lagi na lang tayo magtotropa. Magkakaibigan tayo. Ngayon, papunta tayo sa isang resort sa Batangas. Hinahanap natin yung resort na pupuntahan natin. Siyempre, titingin-tingin tayo sa paligid kasi baka yun na yung resort na hinahanap natin. Ngayon, ako, nakita ko yung pangalan ng resort. Tapos yung itsura ng place ay katulad dun sa picture ng resort na nakita natin sa isang FB page, for example. Then I can say, this must be the place. Ibig sabihin, ina-assume ko o kino-conclude ko at sa palagay ko na ito na nga yung lugar na hinahanap natin. Ngayon, pagpasok natin ng resort, syempre may sumalubong sa atin ng mga attendants, right? Ngayon, meron ditong isang malamadam ang itsura, okay? Siya yung nabibigay ng instructions, siya yung syempre sinusunod ng mga attendants, tapos mukhang yayamanin si madam. So, I can say she must be the manager of the resort or she must be the owner of the resort. So, yan lang yung ina-assume ko. Yan lang yung iniisip ko na sa palagay ko ay totoo. Hindi ibig sabihin na ito ay totoo, okay? Pero this is just my assumption. So, in that sentence, I can use must. She must be the manager or she must be the owner of the resort. Quick recap. Ginagamit natin yung must when we talk about obligations, rules, or laws, necessity, or when we give orders or commands. We can also use must when we give strong advice. We can also use must for making conclusions or assumptions. Should, on the other hand, can be used when we give general advice or recommendations. It can also be used when we talk about expectations. Siyempre, marami pang ibang paggamit yung dalawang modal auxiliary verbs na yan, but in this video, I just talked about their common usage. I would like to say thank you to Peeps, Ping, Christine Gabuya, and Merlene Vicente for always watching my videos and commenting on my videos. I hope that you learned something new today. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and I'll see you again next time.